Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
Dappin dicks.
Ask your aunties, daddy era?
And take your PTO. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Dewan.
And it's Auntie Jarrell. Hey, y'all.
Welcome back, boo.
Jarrell
Hey,
in the
y'all.
house. Jarrell in the house.
Better watch your
Jarrell in the
mouth.
house. We missed you, boo.
I missed y'all too. I'm glad we had a little kiki before this too, where we just got to
just to decompress a little bit.
Right. The non-internet shit got to come out.
Surprisingly so, we still keep a little bit for ourselves.
Look.
Yes, ma'am.
Because some of y'all might not like me if you saw the unfiltered. Y'all thought I was unfiltered there, but wait, there's more. Let me. ... There is more.
Honey,
she goes there.
A whole ass word. But it's always good to see you back.
Yeah, I missed y'all so much though. I really did.
I know.
I really did. Yeah.
And shout out to the other Jarrell. I feel bad calling him the other Jarrell. It sounds so negative. But our other friend Jarrell, the other Auntie Tequila Jarrell, for always hopping on in here. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Feeling it. Y'all had me dying. Let me tell you, I literally said, I was like, I'm glad I was not part of the submarine episode. Because, baby.
The Chicken of the Sea episode.
Girl. I was like, not the little can of tuna, bitch. I was so mad. Took me back. Bitch. My mama used to tear that tuna salad up with that damn Chicken of the Sea, bitch.
Right? Oh my God. Yeah.
And Ritz crackers too, girl. Look.
That sounds kind of good right now, low-key.
Look, man.
Look.
Low-key.
I fucks with some tuna fish. I really do. I mean,
do you like relish in yours?
I think there was like a whole... Yeah.
I don't like relish in mine.
I don't like relish in mine either. But first of all, now I'm talking about wanting to eat something I'm allergic to, though. That's the crazy part. Like, that's how you know, and it's been so damn long since I had some of this. This was pre-allergy, Jarrell.
Right.
I used to eat that up.
We can't be having you blow up.
Girl.
Choke up.
Best over here.
Honey. Period. But what was you talking? Oh yeah, the submarine. I'm like, how we get on tuna fish? But yeah, no. Shout out to Jarrell, Miss Tequila, and she'll be back. She's always on. So yeah. And then I guess it's 4th of July week this week too. So any plans for the 4th? What y'all up to?
Y'all pray for me. Hopefully I'll be back. I won't get lost in the woods.
Ooh.
She going camping on the beach.
But you've done that before. You've done that before.
What?
Yes.
Camping on the beach?
Mm-hmm. Yep, in the Olympic Peninsula.
Okay.
So, we're going to have to be hiking our way through carrying our shit. Just going for a day. Okay. Just a quick little day. That's it.
Okay.
But yeah, there's be like bears and shit out there too. So,
And not the gay ones.
Girl, not the gay. Okay, that part. But I can outrun the whole crew, so I'm good.
Because they friendly.
Right. Hey, boo-boo. I'll pick you, basket.
Knowing what I know now, I'll be all right. But before the first time, girl, they had me out there just unaware. Just
What did you not have that you were unaware? Was it like equipment, or was it just like you just weren't in your element?
I didn't have a proper picture of how much hiking we would have to do. One.
Yeah.
I didn't have a proper idea of the fact that there are things called bear canisters that you also want to grab so the bears can't smell your food.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't know they were bears. So we were like...
I didn't know there was bears that I needed the canister for.
You should have led with that.
That's what I'm saying. We had already got to the first checkpoint, stayed at Airbnb, drove 5 hours, and was an hour away before we had to park the car before they were like, oh, we got to pick up the bear canisters.
You said,
The who? This was not in the fine print. This wasn't on the back side of the page, girl.
Right.
This was in the second memo.
So, did you hear any bears or last time?
Let me tell you. I hope to God not. To God not. We also did some. We also did some magical things.
Yes. Okay.
So we were having a good time.
Okay. Oh, the bear could be sitting right next to you and be like, "Hey, girl,
man, girl." It would have been like that movie Cocaine Bear, I guess. At the point, like, what it do?
Right. That makes. Hey, Yogi. That makes sense. Oh, that'd be cute though. That'd be cute. Camping on the beach. Yeah. Okay. And what are you doing?
Last time?
What about you, Boo?
Oh, sorry.
What are you doing?
Go for it. What you doing, DeJuan?
Oh. Okay, this ain't working.
Yeah, we were just talking about how his internet got cleared up, and then the second we hopped on, that thing got a little lag again, but we'll get through it.
Oh my goodness. The actual 4th, no plans. I plan on chilling. Yeah. That's what I plan on doing.
That's right.
Supposed to be going to friends of ours in Long Island for the weekend prior. So kayaking, maybe doing a little barbecuing, maybe doing a little, like hanging out in the jacuzzi, but just like chill the whole weekend. And then work on Monday, and then we off on Tuesday, and then fly to Indiana for the balance of the week. So I'll be working during the day, but then Indiana visiting family and stuff, and then back on Sunday.
Oh yeah, we got to figure out next week when we want to record, by the way.
We do got to figure that, huh?
That thing. But yeah, you said kayaking. Have you done kayaking before? I've never heard you done kayaking before.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't do it a lot, but I know how. She's a woman of many talents.
Let me tell you, the only kayak I know is where to buy the damn airplane tickets, okay? That's the only kayak you're going to see me interacting with, bitch.
Less the sea.
That's it, okay?
I don't mind a little something physical,
we know.
Me either.
But, when in Rome. Ow.
I had a whole little like Def Jam session right there in my head, but I'll stop.
What about you, Boo? What do you got planned?
Well, it's Corey's birthday on the 1st, so happy birthday, Corey.
Happy birthday, Boo.
But
yes, happy birthday.
But he has to work on his birthday, so like I have dinner plans already set up for that. And then I get Monday and Tuesday off for work. And those are Corey's days off already. So we're going to go down to Rehoboth. Down in Delaware. Go to Rehoboth Beach for the day. And then...
nice. I've never been there. How is Rehoboth to like... what's the place? What's that other gay place? Provincetown.
I've never been to either. So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Corey went last summer. And honestly, before I moved to Philly... The only time I had heard of Rehoboth was we had some friends in Atlanta that had been together for like 20 years, and they met at Rehoboth Beach. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we met at Rehoboth Beach," and they kept saying it like it was just so like normal. I was like, "Is that a gay town? Is that a gay?" Like I had no idea. Come to find out, a lot of people on the East Coast go down to Rehoboth Beach because it is a little gay area there. Corey went last summer. He said it was super cute, so I was asking him what he wanted to do on his birthday. He's like, "I want to go to the beach." He's like, "That's all I want to do." So just trying to figure out which beach to go to. And he said, we might as well just do Rehoboth. And so we'll go down there for the day. We're debating if we're going to stay overnight or not. At first, he wanted to kind of like have folks over on the 4th and grill out. But still sounds like a lot of folks are either working or just like aren't in town and things like that. So even on the 4th, I think we're just going to chill, lay low as well. Maybe we cook out a little bit, but that's about it. So nothing too
Well, let us know. Maybe we'll come on in for the day.
Yeah. We'll be here. So let us know.
Yeah, I'll be there and thoughts and memories. You know what I almost did?
Unless you end up in some damn stomach.
Girl, y'all posted that picture saying just missing Auntie Jarrell. And I was this close to photoshopping myself right next to her. Like, bitch, here I am. There I go. Fixed it.
That would have been cute though.
And I mean, I guess that leads to the next thing. Like I was in New York for New York Pride. Some people already kind of talked about it in podcasts that that's what can't do. But we thought it was supposed to storm all weekend, like for literally the whole week leading into it. We thought it was going to be like a washed out of a weekend, and it rained a little bit, like here and there, like sporadically, like sprinkling. But come like Saturday midday, it was so fucking hot.
It was hot. It was like, it was sauna hot.
Like we were sitting on his rooftop, and like it was kind of like overcast. We're like, okay, nice little breeze. Then I don't know, we all sitting there like, bitch, we gotta go inside.
This shit. We got ordered Thai food. We were like just chilling out, and I set up the rooftop beforehand because it was drizzling a little bit, but it was starting to clear up. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. It's gonna be a nice breeze. We're gonna finish eating. We're just gonna like hang and chill, go up there, play some music, just like chill or whatever. When we got up there, and with all 20 of our bodies sitting up there on the rooftop, knee to knee, it was.
It got so hot.
No,
and you can tell like nobody wanted to be the first one to be like, I'm kind of ready to go in. Like we up there, someone went and got the fans and everything. We over here fanning ourselves. So we was all trying to be polite to each other. Honey,
we should have just went in. We should have just went in. Because like I have this new canopy for the rooftop, so it creates really great coverage. And then I have another sunlight diffuser for where the sun comes down, but there's a little bitty gap in between the canopy and the diffuser. Bitch, and that gap was eating people up. It was eating people up. Whoever was sitting, wherever that little sliver of light was.
That's a gotcha, bitch.
They was getting eaten out.
So true.
Let me tell you, I would have never noticed because I saw the bubbles come out, and I was like, "Oh, they must be having a good time because the bubbles made an appearance, girl."
That was like literally like a 2-minute moment in time.
Yeah, that was a last ditch effort, and then after that, it was like, okay, I think it's time to go home and take a nap.
That's so true. The sun ate us up so quick. But yeah, so New York Pride. I guess like what was your overall, I guess, weekend thoughts, Dewan? And maybe then we'll detail. But what was your overall thoughts for New York City Pride 2023?
First of all, I had a lot of fun. We went out that night to a little dance party. Got to see Deborah Cox, and that was super cute.
Debbie.
I didn't like her outfit though.
You know, I liked it in theory. Like, it seemed like the execution, because it was kind of
just say you didn't like it, girl.
Well, it was gapping where it shouldn't have been gapping.
Yeah.
So I mean, I loved. She had like a high ponytail. It was like encrusted in like stones and jewels, bedazzled, if you will. But then like it wasn't sturdy enough. So it was kind of like wobbly a little bit. And
girl, she looked like a black and gold Hershey Kiss.
Well, I got the Christmas bell little commercial now. That's
exactly.
Yep. Remember the ones that used to have the swirl in it? That's what it is.
I mean, she sounded great.
Yeah,
she sounded great, but honey, that outfit was not it at all.
But here's the tea. So we get there. We like to be a little punctual.
Oh, see.
Honey, we was extra punctual. Okay. We got there at 10:30.
Bitch,
we was the first ones in that hole. Literally,
we walked in. We was like, "What is this? What is that?" Not the only ones here.
Like, oh, white refrigerator. Oh my God! And then so it might have started picking up maybe.
Well, let's just clarify. Like before we left, so you stayed over Ugo and Milos with a couple other friends and whatnot. We all came over and we were hanging out beforehand, and somebody had found like a really great DJ station. I think Alex had found a really great DJ station or whatever. So we're like at home getting pumped, getting pumped to go out. Like, yeah, we want to go out and go dance our asses off and, have fun. And so we're like, okay, well, we never really get there early, and the party's supposed to be closing, I think, between either 5 or 6 in the morning. So we're like, okay, well, if we get there at 12,
hold on, let's back it up right
we
quick.
just get into the
Because Jarrell's face was my face. Because the whole weekend, Dewan was like, well, they only open till 5. I said, only?
Only. Look, okay, only.
Only? Okay, girl. If you say so.
I'm only in bed by 1.
That part.
Well, that's because, especially in New York, the parties typically go until 11 and 12 o'clock the next day. So only being open because here's the thing, there's a lot of different parties that are going on. So a lot of people will end up doing, they won't just stay at one party. They'll do like a house party, and then from the house party, they'll leave from there around 12, 1 o'clock to go to like the first main event, and they'll be there until like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they'll leave from there and go to the next event and be there until whenever. So, and again, this is Pride weekend. Yeah. So this is, you going balls to the wall, shaking your tits for Jesus, like all that shit.
How old are these people?
So we're at home.
Well, Dewan older than me.
All ages.
So Dewan was ready.
Right.
He's like, we're going for the long haul.
Ministry. I was asking. Let me tell you, you don't know what you don't know. That's not my ministry. So that's what I was asking. I needed a point of clarification, girl, and just so I can paint an act.
I will tell you, more than half of the room was older than me.
That is true. It was a wide range because it's Deborah Cox. That's the reason why.
No, but I'm talking about the whole like people staying out till 11 o'clock the morning next day. I'm talking about what does those people?
Yeah.
Go ahead with your bad self, then, baby. I know that's right. Using or losing,
honey.
Baby.
When Auntie Chardonnay
is ready to party,
Chardonnay says she has lived. I mean, we don't mess around. Yeah. So yes, when they was like, it was only gonna be 5 or 6 o'clock, and we out there, we're getting pumped. We're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun night. The weather ended up turning out great. We're feeling really good. The music, even at the house, is just like, why are we at home? Why don't we be out there? And so we left. We
walked in that home.
Oh my God. And it was so deceiving. It was so deceiving because when we showed up, there was like a gazillion people in front. Remember that? There was like, but they were all people that worked there.
I was about to say it was like maybe like 30
people.
It wasn't 2. But there was a lot of just like, because they was probably like all outside.
30 people,
because there was nobody inside.
Right. We walked in. I can just say what was in my own head. I walked in thinking, this about to be lit. Like everybody knows this party isn't going to go to the wee hours of the night. Well, let me say to the wee hours of the next day. So they're going to show up early. We're going to show up, and then it's going to be packed. We walked in there. It was breezy.
It was this showed you how there was nobody in there. It was freezing in there because they pumped the AC.
It was a meat locker.
In a park, Jarrell. Like it was so.
Well, she said in her song, "Nobody's supposed to be here." And guess what?
And
nobody was there, bitch.
They weren't. And then so we there like 20 minutes. Still, maybe 5 people come in, and then we see our homegirl Landy sashaying in that hole. And he's like, "Where the people at?" I was like, "Girl, I don't know."
We are the people.
We are the people.
But you know what? 5 minutes into talking to him, next thing we know, we turn around. And
like out of nowhere.
There was a gang of people. It was
in a matter of like 15, 20 minutes. You're like, wait, hold the fuck up. Like, how did they do that?
Like, how do I keep bumping into people?
Shout out, by the way, we got to meet a couple of community members. We got to meet Tristan.
Yes.
And he was
Tristan,
like sharing story. Like, he was trying to make me boo-hoo in the club. Like, he was like, hey, you guys have helped me out a lot listening to you. I was like, shut the fuck up. Don't make me cry out here. I'm trying to have fun.
What a goddamn sweetheart he was.
Yes.
He was such a sweetheart.
And then his boyfriend, Ryan, another sweetheart. And we're just like, aw, okay. We the aunties up in the club now, okay.
I know.
It's like, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but hey, girl. But no, that was.
Well, we did have to do the disclaimer. We had to let him know what happens in the club stays in the club. So now we're going to fast forward to what did you do last weekend?
Who, me?
It's like, I don't want them in the DMs.
My weekend was cute. Honestly, I wasn't in the Pride spirit this year. I just honestly wasn't.
Well, you typically aren't, though.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, I'm normally ready. Like, normally I'm like, got all my tickets to everything. Like, I'm ready to go. Yeah. This year I was like, I'm only doing the free shit. And I'm buying one pay ticket, and that's for the Sunday block party at Cuff. And other than that, I am keeping it cool. I don't know, just like with everything going on at work, like I just find myself like wanting to protect my weekends, right? And making sure that I have time to recharge on the weekends. So when I go to work during the week, I'm not half present, right? So I wanted to make sure that I just kind of kept it cool. I went out Friday night, had too much to drink. This beautiful Australian man like was like following me around. I was like,
"Ooh,
you better
he said,
stay away.
I see the stallion.
Stay away, girl. Let me tell you, like he had one of them like thick Australian accents too.
Oi, oi.
So you had to like lean in to understand, and then I'm like leaning into his face. I'm like,
too close.
And he was just like, "You're so beautiful. Oh my gosh! Like, what are you doing this week?" And I'm like, "Staying at home." That's exactly what I'm doing. Staying at home.
She said being faithful.
I know that's right.
I said, not that's how it be. Got on night one. I was like, oh no, honey, we can't start the weekend off like this. No, man,
the men's were out.
I ain't gonna lie. I got a little bit on Sunday. I got a little bit on Sunday.
Gobble.
I ain't gonna.
Hold on, Dewan. She done said, it was a chill weekend, and then now she into the Australian and got on Sunday.
To be fair, we were having a magical experience on Sunday. And the next thing I know, this man was like whipping it out, and I was like, well, I have manners, so I just
tap it on the head.
Cool. All right. I kept it.
Give a little love tap. Happy Pride, bitch.
Sweet. There are a lot of exposed penises.
I wasn't sure how much detail we was gonna go.
Girl, there was a lot. I was like looking left and right. I'm seeing people doing things. I'm like, do you know there are people?
There were a lot of exposed penises there. I was like, oh, he gobbling. Okay.
A lot.
Look, though.
I was pointing them out for you.
But Dewan was kind of like slightly disgusted. He was like, oh, I can't believe they just over here. And I said, where? Was looking.
Uh-huh.
It was everywhere. You couldn't escape.
You really couldn't.
Everywhere.
You couldn't Latasha in for nothing.
Yeah. Oh, girl, this wasn't on the dance floor. This was on the street.
Ooh.
At the block party.
I believe that.
Was it pretty? Was it pretty? Was it nice? He's like, bitch, that's why I tapped it.
Very nice little dap. Hey, what up?
That's right. Well, so you saw Mike and Kyle.
Community.
I did see Mike and Kyle.
The community.
I was there. Yeah.
Hold on. The community wants to know though. Well, the community is me. So does that count as
yes?
Does that count as a head count for your number?
No.
Your 22,
did not enter any. 23. Not my 23.
Did not enter any orifices.
It did not enter any of this. There was no finishing. There was nothing. It was a quick little.
It was a quick little dap.
Okay. And let me get out. Because literally all I heard was, Molly, you in danger, girl. That's all I heard. Literally, Molly, you in danger, girl. And I was like, nope.
He felt that butthole pucker a little bit. He's like, girl, let me get out of here. Let me get out of here.
Extra stage left, girl. Extra stage left. That's a wrap.
Well, yeah, like I got a text from Mike. I didn't see it until till Monday. But he was like, look who I got. And I was like, oh, yes. That's Auntie Terrell.
Aww. That was after. That was the costume change. Let me tell y'all, honey, when I tell y'all I had a magical experience. That happened. I had to extra stage left. I was like, I'm going to give me something to eat. I went and sat at the park. I had a little dinner by myself. Had some ice cream. Went back home and I was like, bitch, I'm in orbit. I can't be in this house. And it took my ass right back outside in these streets. Did a whole rose robe change and everything.
Love it.
The girls were like, huh? What?
I got to also shout out Chris. I got to meet Chris Brewer as well. Put out his whole government, I guess. Damn.
You showed there.
But I don't know how else to say it. But listen,
Chris B.
Hey, Chris B. My bad. Let me back that up. Got to meet Chris B. By the way, and from Seattle area and lived in Miami. Now he's in New York or whatever. Because I went out Friday, like so. Everyone else kind of like late, like we. Well, that's not true because we got drunk Friday. We got hella drunk Friday night, and they was like, "Oh, we're going to bed."
Oh my god!
And I was like, "Well, I got this party ticket to go with my friend Ryan from Chicago." Blah blah blah. So I was like, "Damn, I'm already drunk. Okay, I'm gonna go say hello since I got the ticket. At least pop my head in." But then I left the house maybe like 11:30, and he was running slow to get there. He didn't get there till like 12:30. I'm like, "Oh." So Chris, I had told him I was like, "Hey, we're gonna be in New York for Pride. Hopefully, we run into you." Blah blah blah. And he happened to be the next block over at Hardware in New York. So went there, had a couple of drinks with him, and then went back to the party. But so shout out to Chris as well. Got to finally meet him in person. So that was dope. And he was like, "Where'd Dewan at?" I was like, "Girl, she had to go to bed. She had to go to bed."
She was saving it. She was saving it.
I got real, honey. I got real in August. I told everybody I ain't trying to break all these bones before I'm about to bounce. So I'm doing one thing, and that's it.
That's it. That's it. But no, it was definitely a fun weekend. It was my first New York Pride since World Pride in 2019, and now that I live out here, it'll probably be maybe a habitual weekend. But the cool thing again is just like even though there's still moments in the community that's problematic, and obviously there's a lot of legislation against our community, it's still cool to go out and kiki with your Judies in the community. Just like try to forget a little bit, or at least enjoy yourself a little bit, and just know we still got work to do. And just dance with your friends and get sweaty and listen to Debbie Cox a little bit. Like, those are just moments that it's just cool, to have just a little moment to try to forget lifing.
All the shit that's been going on.
Yeah. So shout out to everyone we hung out with, everyone we saw. We saw Rashad too. It was like we was there the whole night, and we saw Rashad like the last 20 minutes.
Girl, I asked him. I said, "Girl, when did you get here?" She was like 2:00, and it was 4. I'm like,
damn, I don't know how we. And that's the thing. Debbie didn't even come on till 2:00.
Yeah,
like we was like, where Debbie at? Like the whole time. We there, mind you. Again, we got there at 10:30.
Oh yeah, see how
right. A whole night.
It was a whole mess by the time Debbie got there. A whole mess.
Honey.
But no, it was a blast.
And y'all left before we did because we stayed there a little bit longer than y'all.
Yeah, well, because Carell was done. I was like, you know what?
He was.
I go because I had the spare keys. I was like, I am taking myself home. So is anyone going with me or no? If not, I'll see y'all when I wake up because I am like done. And so then a couple people were like, okay, yeah, we're done too. Dewan stayed back, a couple other people stayed back. I was like, I'll see you when I see you. And if I don't see you before I leave town, I'll see you when I see you again, girl. Love you.
I said they only open until 5:00 in the morning.
I was like, and it was like after 5. We left at like 5:15. And they were still bumping music. I was like, if she played one more song, I swear I'm about to lose it. Like I was getting like irritated. Unplug this shit. It's time to go home.
I am never anywhere where I'm out that late. I am never out that. I do not have that in me. Sure. Okay. Let me tell you. Midnight hits and it's like it's the Cinderella moment, bitch. It's like a ding, ding. I hear the clock, bitch, and I'm just Irish goodbye. I'm out. Honestly, 2 times in Paris. That was the only time this year I've been out past 2 a.m.
Yeah, I hadn't done it in a while, and I did it 2 nights in a row. So by that second night, Carell said, "Let me take my gay little ass home."
I have a hard time staying out drinking super late.
Yeah.
Because that just said my ministry, but like, let there be some music. Honestly, that's my heaven.
Yeah.
Good music, good food. Like I'll be out for a whole week.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely my ministry. I love it. And like I don't do it. Like I'm like a lot of y'all, like I don't do this I'm not like one of those girls that's doing this every single month, every single weekend. Like, and there was a time in her life where that was the case, but now it's it's a sometimes kind of thing. And as long as the music is good and I'm there with good people, that's all I really care about. And I just want to like savor in that as much as I possibly
I love that. I just don't like people enough to not be drinking.
Yeah.
And you fight.
Exactly. So let me take my ass home.
Yeah.
You're right.
She said,
like,
for my safety and for your safety.
Right. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I called the Uber for her. Time to get her out. Because I'm not about to be fighting tonight, too. It's like, damn, Jarrell done drunk us to a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. But
I'm
a
a little like sad, though. I'm just a little sad because I'm going to be in your neighborhood, but I won't be able to see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I know. Because I'll be in Jamaica.
Yeah. She out here giving that good traveling this year.
Girl, she is, though.
Oh, that's right.
Look,
welcome to the club.
She didn't pop that Europe cherry, bitch, and she said,
she said, oh, wait a minute, all these pages in my passport is blank. Oh no, not today.
You know what it was? It was, I went on my thing at work and I said, I got all these available days off. I got how many PTO hours? Yep. When I tell you, baby, I didn't take a day off last year unless it was for being sick. I sure did not. Literally, my boss was like, you have all this time off? And I was like, I didn't go nowhere. Like, I didn't do anything.
Not this year.
Yeah,
as you should.
That's the thing I don't mess around with. I don't mess around with my time off. Like, I takes my time off. You don't get 100% of me while I'm there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to take the time off that I need to recharge, to do whatever. And, you know, like, that's a lesson that I learned quite some time ago. Cause I used to like, it was like for me, like kind of like a badge of like my professionalism or whatever. And I was like, finally, this ain't like, I'm living to work, not working to live. And I need to switch this out. Mm-hmm. Like, this pays the bills and affords my vacations. This is not the life.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for me, it was the whole, you know, just being grateful to have a job, right? Like, getting out of that mindset of putting so much pressure on needing to maintain this job that you take from the moments where you need to pour into yourself to recharge, right? And I was taking that and then putting that energy into work, right? And like I said, and I've said this plenty of times on the podcast, though, like, watching you all and seeing how you all navigate just that work-life balance is something that helped give me permission to be able to do the same, right? Because often, being Black in America, the hustle never stops, right? And when you grow up just having to hustle and scrape and scrap to move even a couple of steps, taking time off not to do that feels like you are giving up an opportunity, or you letting time pass by where now you are going to be even further than you could.
Right. Further behind or whatever.
Right, exactly. And now I have to realize, but bitch, where's living? Where's living? If all you're doing is working, right? So being able to get to a point, that's the difference.
That's the difference between the difference between, I think, like, surviving and thriving mentality, right? Like, surviving is I'm playing catch up, I'm keeping my head.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like, so many people, like, it takes, especially for us, I feel like, you know, we're so used to just keeping our heads above water, right? Or trying to, at the very least, that mentality permeates a lot of things that we do, even when it comes to work. And there comes a point where hopefully people realize that, you know, in order for you to switch out of that mindset, you have to start investing in yourself. And some of that means you got to start protecting time outside of the office and realize that your office, the car wash, or whatever it is that you do for a living, that should not be the end all be all, unless you the owner. If you the owner, that shit needs to be your end all be all.
Yeah, that's a word.
But
too.
If you ain't the owner, you working for somebody else. No, if you get PTO, Take that PTO.
Take that shit. And it doesn't have to be like
something beautiful with it.
And I also want to say, we know not everyone can afford a Jamaica or a Europe or whatever. Even if it's you gonna get, if you got a couple extra dollars, go get you a Happy Meal, get you a manicure, something that makes you happy. Doesn't matter the cost amount. Go sit in the park, read a book, something, but something that is ultimately going to try to recharge you. That brings you joy. That has nothing to do with anybody else or any other company or corporation. And that's the key message out of the whole thing. Because you will run yourself ragged and then get to your end days and say, bitch, I ain't did shit that made me happy. And that ain't it.
Right. And I think, I think another key part to it is just to like what Dewan has helped me understand, and you too, Corel, over the last couple of years, is just being able to bet on yourself. Like just knowing that, guess what? If you've done it once, you can do it again, right? 1,000%. So at the end of the day, that job won't be the last job. And won't, because you got that job, which means you can get the next job, right? So the one thing to know is you're not going back. You may move parallel, right? But you're not going back, and you're not going back because you know what you needed to do to get to where you are, and now you know how to stay where you are, and that is a switch that a lot of us don't know how to flip.
Get my tambourine out. I'm just saying. Over the preaching. That's a word. It's a word. And again, and that's why, like, these weekends, even though it was Pride, and that's just an extra key, even the weekends where it's not a party weekend and things like that, where it's just like, just being with your friends, listening to music, kikiing, like that just recharges me. And you need those moments.
Tell me about it.
Like, you need those moments. Because ultimately, it also helps your job because you're recharged. Like, it's like this circle. Like, especially if you enjoy your job too. All of that is all interconnected and weaved. So, like, you got to have some joy, some other stuff outside of the job so you can still do good at your job. Like, so it's all connected. But yeah. And community, y'all know that.
That's why it's important to have. That's why it's important to have conversations like this, because a lot of people don't have people around them who have a different way of thinking and a different way of living that is relatable. Not everybody's Claire Huxtable, not everybody's Heathcliff, and so that's not relatable to a lot of people. But I think what our community really appreciates about us is that we real. We out here doing it. Like, we talk, we walk the walk, we talk the talk, but we're also like, we also keep it real. And so, there's no pretense. There's no bougie, I'm better than you, and look at how fabulous my life is and whatnot. We all got fucked up shit going on. We all have real ass lives. But at the end of the day, I think one of the things that we bring to the table is a balance of being able to look at our lives as not just a thing that's happening to us, but a thing that we are actually making happen. We're making life happen for ourselves in whatever way that we can, and encouraging other people to do the same.
Yeah. Well, cool. So Pride season ended pretty nicely, I will say, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Until next year, bitches.
So. Yeah. Until next year. Yeah. And look, I still actually have a voice today. Look at that. It was trying to go.
Right?
It was trying to go. I was trying to hit the how did you get here?
Not me. Girl, it ain't my fault. Bitch, I took the bus.
I know that's right. I took the bus right. Oh, man. I know that's right. All right, well, we done talked about 45 minutes about the damn Pride. So we'll take a quick little tea break and we'll come back with an Ask Your Aunties. We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo Aunteas
got
merch! Hey! That's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there, so go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find us at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to MinoriteaReport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! I'm about to go get me some myself. Alrighty, ladies. What time is it?
Ask your
aunties.
You want to read it, Dewan?
Yeah, sure. Hey, aunties, I recently enjoyed. Oh, okay. I thought I said breakup for a second, but. Hey, aunties, I recently enjoyed a hookup with a really attractive 24-year-old guy. We had a great time, fun sex, and really hit it off. The next day, he asked me out on a proper date. My concern is that I'm old enough to be his father, as I'm twice his age. What should I do? Keep it in the sack or go with the daddy-son date?
First off, bitch, you better flex.
That part.
Plan. I'm twice his age, and I got me a 24-year-old.
I know that's bitch. On 24.
Hey. This episode gonna need a playlist by the time we done. The amount of songs.
Oh god. I mean, go on the date. I mean, it is what it is. Like, if that's so triggering for you, you'll know it definitely after the date. If there's some red flags potentially for you, just have fun. Like, I think, and I get it. Like, sometimes, and as I get older, I can potentially see how folks are like, dang, the perception of, and this and that. But we're all trying to find love, and if you hit it off somehow, and the sex was good the first time, and things like that, try it. Eventually, you can say no, it's too much for you. So, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes we might put ourselves in holes or miss out on blessings and things like that just because of perception and what we think people might say or things like that, or what we think, oh, it's twice their age, that's so inappropriate and things like that. He's 24, they're 24, their legal age. It seems like they know they're consenting to sex and dates, and they asked you out and things like that. I don't know what else to say. It's like, go on the damn date and see what happens. Then make some decisions if you want to continue or not. But I think you're just thinking way too deep into it, honestly. I don't know. That's not good advice. Mine is just simply go on the damn date.
I don't know. Me personally, my golden rule is they got to be able to at least be able to rent their own car. So for me, 24 is too young. Okay, if you ain't old enough, that
surcharge.
Yeah.
Look, okay, that's just me though. That's just me. But I will say this though. I often tend to lean towards letting people surprise you. Especially with this younger generation. Although, like, I'm making myself sound so fucking old, but 24 is not the same. Is not the same generation as me. That's a 10-year difference. We're not in the same generation. But I will say that this younger generation, I feel that they're a little bit more self-aware than my generation at 24. Like, the talks of mental health and trauma and, just this self-reflection is something that is really embedded in this younger generation that I don't remember being that age and anybody around me having that type of thought pattern, right? It wasn't until the 30s that I started realizing some of those things. Because I still hang around quite a few younger, individuals because of things like sports and stuff like that. And I still have to sometimes remember that they're like 27, 28, because I'm like, damn, bitch, like, okay, you understand some things. So because I've known some younger people who are in their 20s that got their shit together, you don't let age be something that's going to just say absolutely no to something, right? Some people might surprise you. Some people may have already experienced something. Some people maybe just have the knowledge because some of us older people have been saying this shit out here and putting everything out there on the internet. So the young people don't got to go through the shit that we went through. So they may already understand some shit that they don't need to go through at 27 because of us. So as Girl said, go on the date, girl. Go on the date. And the least thing is you got an extra hole to play with if it don't work out.
Period.
So with y'all. As girl. I'm trying to navigate. I'm trying to navigate my answer. here's the thing. As somebody who is north of 40, you know, and staring down 50, I can't see with myself with no 20-some year old. I can't. But that's me. That is just me. I agree with the aunties. I think the question you have to ask yourself is, what the hell do you want? Because if you're searching for a relationship, that's one thing. If you're just like dating just for dating's sake, that's another thing. And I'm not saying you have to pick a lane and stay. You can do both. And you can not just have one relationship. You can have multiple kinds of relationships. I do think that let's just be clear, there are going to be challenges with a significant age difference. If you are twice this person's age, you're 48 and this person is 24, that is a considerable amount of life difference and life experience differences that will be challenging to navigate. That is above and beyond what you would already have to navigate with somebody that would be relatively within your own age group. Just being frank. Just being frank. And I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. But I'm saying is just be real. Like if you go after, it's one thing to fuck somebody. It's another thing to go out on dates with people, and it's another thing to go out on dates with the intention of being in a relationship with somebody. And just because you have good sex and good chemistry, that don't mean you're gonna have a good relationship.
You're right.
And the reality of it is, we said this well, I know I said this stat before. 99.9% of all relationships fail. So I think it's important for you to not dwell on like what other people are going to think. I think it's important for you to figure out what you want. Because if you want to pursue going on a date with this person and seeing where it goes, I think that's lovely and beautiful. Just be smart and realize that this person is 24 years old and has 24 years of experience. That is half of your life experience. Doesn't mean that it's not equal or whatever. It just means it's different. It's very, very different, you know. And as a person who's the older person and in a relationship, it's important to know that there are going to be things that will bubble up for you. Like, will you treat them like a child? Because that's real. That's real. When they out there doing some you know, like ignorant shit just because they don't know any better, and then you start talking to them like a father figure, what's that gonna do to your sex life?
But I will just say that don't assume that this 48-year-old man got his shit together either, though. I just want to point that out.
I'm not assuming that either,
because age ain't number the number, and he could have a young spirit, and that's why this 24-year-old spirit might be good for him.
Yes, and all I'm saying is whatever it is that you choose to do, whether you choose to go out with them or not, go into this situation with your eyes open. Don't go in there, don't go into a situation all like rose-colored glasses and thinking life is beautiful and dandy and you're just gonna throw caution to the wind. And then when wind blows your ass off the cliff, you're gonna be mad. So all I'm saying is be thoughtful. Whatever you choose to do, you know, you are the only person in your life that's controlling the things that you're doing. So just be thoughtful and mindful about and intentional about what it is that you're doing. And if you want to go into a situation like this, like a dating situation, just to explore and see what happens, I say go for it.
Like a nigga just
don't be delusional.
right. Well, and that's my and to me, like part of this too makes me also wonder too, is the sex is part of the was the sex good and it's complicating this, right? Like
probably.
You know, because he's already had a taste and he's already liked something of what he's already tasted. So now he's like, do I want more? And this is why personally I don't have sex when I'm dating somebody. Just simple enough. I don't want the extra complication.
This 22 and
I don't want I didn't want to have any cloudy judgment of being like, oh, I really love that, because like Dewan said, you know, like being sexually compatible don't mean you're gonna have a good relationship, right? And I've been dickmatized quite a few times in my life. And made the wrong decision. Girl, look.
I done dapped some dicks.
And you got to understand when you know, when it's casting a spell on you, girl. So you got to be ready.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, but I mean, like all of that to say, and all that's amazing advice. But you won't know unless you go on that first date.
That's true.
It just like to start to sort all of that out. And you got to be very intentional, like Javon says. Just like, okay, if you're at the stage of life where you're just dating, just a date, just to have casual dates and things like that, that's one thing. If you're dating with intention to say, okay, I am ready for a relationship. Okay, cool. If you think with the 24-year-old is going to work out for you, cool. But there's got to be intentions, and just know there will be roadblocks. But there's roadblocks in every fucking relationship. Y'all could be both 24, both 48, both 99. Some shit's gonna pop off, guaranteed.
99.9%.
Seriously, that's life, and that's relationships. We all stubborn. We're all this. We all got shit to work on. So that's just life. So yeah. So hopefully, if you're listening, if you go on the date, let us know. Give us an update.
Let us know.
But yeah, that's a good one. That's interesting. We haven't had. I mean, we have a lot of relationship and sex ones, but we never really had one about like just like strictly maybe the doubling of age and things like that. Yeah. Or maybe that's
honestly, I've been thinking a lot about this. Like, as I get older, as I'm like nearing 50, I think about this a lot. Like, in terms of like the people that I hang around, the people that I'm, that I'm just around. Like, and I work with a lot of like younger people, and it's just that idea about age appropriateness and what that means and unpacking that is very top of mind.
That's it's like topic. Let's write that down.
What is, like when you think about what is age appropriate for people to be doing, then a whole bunch of other things start creeping in, and it may not be your shit, but it may be society shit that's influencing what you go after and what you don't, and
that's what this one almost sounds like. Day,
yep. It could be. I mean, but there are also like a bunch of like potential yellow flags, maybe not a flag that he's thrown, but like things you need to be aware of. Yeah. Like, for example, is this a gold digger situation?
Right.
Is it somebody who is placating somebody's emotions because they want to take advantage of them for whatever they have? I'm not saying that's what it is, but like these are the questions that you have to be mindful of and like be looking out for yourself about. Less about outside people, because let me also rephrase you. That's something you're also going to have to be prepared for. You're going to have to be emotionally mature to handle if you do choose to be in a relationship. The kinds of questions, the kind of looks, the kind of stares, like when you walk into, a store and, somebody says, "Oh, do you and your son want to da 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 da?" Is that going to be a trigger for you? Like, are you emotionally able to handle that? Like, nah, bitch, that's my nigga. I mean, let me roll that back. Let me roll that back.
That was such a bar.
With your such a bar. Chest. With your whole chest. I know that's
bar.
Right. I know.
But like if we're having a real honest conversation, like you have to be ready for that. You have to, and it's not about being insecure about what you have. It's about the fact that you have other people who have perceptions that are going to challenge not your relationship, but almost innocently. It's like microaggressions, like little paper cuts. And are you prepared for that?
Word.
And if you are, and if you feel like if you pursue a relationship with this individual and it's mutual and it's blossoming and whatnot, and the affection and care that you have for each other is big enough so that you both can withstand those kinds of, how are you going to feel when you walk into their parents' house and you for a family function and you 8 years younger than their grandparents?
And
that's a real conversation.
Just even on the flip side of that, it's just there is going to be a growth. He's 24, they're 24, so it's just like that person's also going to be going through just different life changes and stages as well.
Their own thing.
So I mean, like, and I'm sure because you say my concern is that I'm old enough to be his father, that some of that's starting to play out in your mind already. So I'm sure you're there, but I don't want us to scare you either and just say, "Oh no, don't go," because it could be fun. It could be, even if it's
daddies
once,
are in.
Even if it's just
I
once.
Say go.
I'm trying to get to my daddy era.
Look, daddies are in,
say,
girl.
Honestly,
true.
For you, I say go for it. Just do it with your eyes open. For me,
I'm saying
Couldn't
that's
do it.
crib.
I'm not mature enough. I'll be too in my feelings. Let somebody say something about, oh, you're going to get your son a Happy Meal. And I'll be like, I can't do this anymore. I couldn't do it. I don't have the emotional maturity. I might feel different when I'm north of 50. Who knows? We'll see.
Right. You might enter a different era, if you will.
Right.
It's the era of like, bitch, I still got an era. That's what it is. Bitch, I'm still bagging these 22-year-olds.
You wish you could pull them.
Well, continue to send your questions to aya@minorityareport.com or DM us.
That was a good one.
Let's see here. Drag Race. Oh, actually, no. Let's quickly. Do we want to do Drag Race or BET first?
Drag Race. Let's get it out the way.
So, community spoiler alert. If you haven't caught up, spoiler alert. Drag Race, latest episode, or at least last week's episode. So the episode before this, we saw LaLa Ri save Miss Alexis Michelle. And Miss Alexis Michelle told LaLa Ri, I will always remember you. I will always love you. You my crush forever.
As you walking out the door.
And we should have known then that was the foretelling about to happen in the next episode. So the next episode, we get into, what was the challenge? It was like...
well, first she threw Darian Lake under the bus.
She did.
Then she threw Darian Lake under the bus on the main stage. And then she like blasted. She flip flopped on Heidi because she cavered. Cavered. That's not even a word. What the fuck?
Caved to Candy.
What is wrong with my vocabulary?
Ooh,
right. Caved to Candy.
Is she just scared of Candy Muse? Point blank and the period.
Absolutely. But what that also says is she ain't got no integrity. She doesn't have integrity in no integrity, no competitive integrity. I don't want to say she doesn't have any integrity. Which is going to bleed into real life integrity. Standpoint,
that's what's going to happen.
Okay, I do got a little tea though. So at Pride, right, Candy and Jessica Wilde performed at the block party on Sunday. And shout out to Jessica Wilde, I love her. But Candy performed and afterwards took the mic and she was like, who's rooting for? And she said everyone's name but Jimbo.
So shit about to go down, you think? Or he's the next one to go? Is that what you're thinking?
Or she don't like the bitch. How you gonna say it in front of a full crowd of gays, right? Like, who rooting for
Andy
who?
Messy.
Messy bitch. Messy.
I've never liked Candy.
She's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
As a person.
Right.
As a person. Because she strikes me, whereas Alexis surprised me as in terms of her lack of competitive integrity. I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Because I want to make sure that I'm getting it right. Because it's really about the competition. I don't know her as a person. I don't know what she's like outside of this. Everybody reacts to competition and the pressures of that differently. So she doesn't have, in my opinion, competitive integrity. Candy is a bully.
She's always been a bully.
She acts like a bully. She tries to.
He get heated. He caught himself.
Honey, I had to pull myself together. She's a bully. She's been a bully since the season that she was on, and for some reason, obviously, like Rue doesn't see all the shit that happens on behind the scenes. She just sees how people show up, and she said that in many different interviews. So, like I believe it, and so it doesn't surprise me that somebody who has a certain level of likability, right, can also harbor such nasty interpersonal behaviors.
Yeah.
And that's what she embodies behind the scenes. And it comes out every single time. And I want to root for her because the thing of it is that she's a pretty girl.
Oh my gosh, she paints
like
amazingly.
I find her pretty. I think that her drag is elevated and beautiful and fashion ish. Well, I was going to say fashion forward, but it's not really it's like fashion right now. She's like a girl of the moment. So that's why I said ish. That's not the shade. I ain't gotta be. Look, I don't like her. I already said that at the beginning. So this is not about me trying to like sweeten the words. But I don't like the way that she treats people.
I agree with that.
And I don't care that like there's a thing in competition. Like I get when people are in competitions, and Jarrell, I would love to get your thoughts, or even Corel, like just. But I think from Jarrell's perspective, because I know she likes to fight, how that shows up in competition mode. Because I feel like when you are competing, there was something really sacred about being a person of integrity. So if you create an alliance with somebody, that is supposed to mean something. And I get that there are certain people that do those kinds of things for strategy. I don't like those kind of people because that says a lot about who you are at your core. And now I'm going to stop because I would love to hear.
I would have to disagree. Let me set up. Okay. I would agree with you in the sense I don't like her either. I've met plenty of just loud girls like Candy growing up, especially where I'm from. You meet plenty of loud girls who like to be the loudest. There's way more bark than actual bite behind it. And I can see that with Candy. There's a reason why the girls, for the most part, still fucks with her. And I think it's because she's loud because of whatever she needs to figure out unpacking. Right? Because I think there's something behind it. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think to her core she's an actual bad person, and that's why I'm not rubbed that way. Now, from a competitive standpoint, I do like her game because at the end of the day, bitch, you're there to win $200,000. Okay. And I don't care what anyone says. At the end of the day, when it comes to sports, it's not about always being fair. Now, I'm not talking about you got to go Tanya Harding some bitch. All right. That's not fair. Right? But the mental game, those are special kinds of athletes when you can see them play the mental game. Okay. And whether it's play the mental game where they're unbreakable or they know how to play the mental game where they get in other people's head. There's two types. Serena Williams is one of my favorite people that I like to talk about when it comes to the mental game because she knows how to play within herself and bring that shit out. And it comes across as something scary that other people may want to start to back off. Candy's kind of trying to do that, but she does it by being loud versus by keeping more within herself and not trying to mess with other people, if that makes sense. People who like to kind of play the mental game are people that you often see in things like the NBA, where they like to talk shit in your ear, they like to get under your skin and catch you off guard, and then all of a sudden you're not bringing your best because now you can't think straight. At the end of the day, you're not there I'm going to help you go up, and then so that way you can help me go up. There can only be one fucking winner at the end of the day. Only one. Well, I heard sometimes in the show there's two, but from the seasons I've seen and how I know competitions are supposed to work, there's supposed to be only one in a competition. So the idea of I'm going to play and try to help you get up to, girl, only one person go through the door at the same time at once. So who's it going to be? And at the end of the day, you there to do for you. So I'm going to do what I need to do for me to be the one to go through that door.
I feel like Candy's a little spoiled. There's a little almost spoiled energy that comes out of her.
Yeah.
And I think that's where some of the bullying comes out because she's so used to always either being so spoiled that she gets her way or she knows she's going to be at least able to bully you enough to get her way. Because like, and what makes me think that is like when she was in the bottom, she's like, I ain't leaving. Y'all can't kick me off the show. You better get security. That's her trying to still find an avenue to bully her way or spoil her way into getting her way. So that's the stuff that kind of rubs me the wrong way. When it comes to competition, I agree with you, Drew. Like, it's like, I'm here to win, bitch, at the end of the day. However, I know, at least for me, the way I would play would still at least have maybe some integrity part of it. I ain't going to tell you I'm in an alliance with you, ho. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I'll find a way to get around that. I'm not going to speak out both sides of my neck like that, saying, yeah, I got you, girl. Go here. Oh, yeah, I got you, girl. Yeah, I got you, girl. Oh, I'm going to keep you here forever, girl. No, I'm not. I'm not going to say those words. At least for me, maybe mentally aware of how to prepare my language in a way that makes it think that we together, but I never said those words. That's not what the intent was or nothing like that. And that's where I think there's a difficulty with Candy. I think that's where difficult with Alexis for those two particular drag queens this season, especially in this episode, to kind of get back to that episode where she literally just and these episodes are filmed the day before.
Yeah.
It's not weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
It was yesterday.
Right.
Last night,
Yeah.
ho. And then we got into today, and voted my ass off when you just told me. That would rub me a little wrong. And I'm well aware that it's competition. You played the way you need to play. Cool. However, that still shows a little bit of your core being that when I'm out in these streets and these clubs and they need another drag queen to fill in because someone potentially fell out, I am no longer putting you higher on my list. So I hope that a lot of these queens are aware that, yes, you won 200,000 on this show, but you might have just lost 500K on the flip side because you are no longer top of mind when we need you for something that might be coming up. So that's always aware in my mind if I were to play some of these shows. Also the long game instead of this immediate this immediate thing, because the immediate thing will run out after taxes and shit. Bitch, you barely got home.
Right.
And honestly, I'm not giving Candy enough credit. I'm not giving her that kind of credit to say that she's smart enough to play the kind of mind games. I think she gets mad. That's what I said.
She just knows she can scream, tantrum, and bully her way to get her way.
She's having a tantrum. She's having an emotional breakout, and she's going to lash out at anybody that she thinks is going to take it.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you, if we was in the same room, she act like that. We having hands.
Facts.
You ain't sitting up here.
That's 1,000%.
When she went up there, and you know what? The only reason why she didn't get beat the fuck up with Iman, what's her name? Chanel Iman.
Yeah.
Iman. From when she was on the first time, and because the girl was sick.
Yeah, she
was sick. She had a colostomy bag. She had just had surgery. She didn't tell anybody. She said in a confession afterwards, she didn't want people to see that was a handicap. But Iman, I wish I could say her name correctly, because she would have whipped her ass, and I would have cheered her on for doing that, because you don't act like that.
Yeah, Tamisha Iman,
not in a competition. And that's it. And that ain't. It's not smart.
Yep, I agree.
It ain't smart.
So I don't know, and I still think Candy's going to be fine after, because at least.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's Candy, and she's talented. I will say, like, Candy's talented.
She's talented, and she, despite how she behaves, she still is likable. Right.
Alexis might have a little more. So it's not like she's explaining to do after the show, especially like the whole season. She kept on saying Lala was her crush. So you do like that's your crush. And Jimbo kind of said at the end of credits, he's like, "You just told her the whole season that's your crush, and that you gonna save her forever. I love you forever, and then you gonna do that shit." So they already looking at. So Alexis next to go. She ain't gonna make it unless she wins the next thing. So,
which is crazy too, because she also said in episode 2 that she didn't want because I think she had said at the beginning, she was like, I don't want people to vote me out or something like that because I wasn't like nice or something along those lines. Honey,
you don't.
Yeah, so that was not cute. That was not cute.
If Alexis or Jimbo would be in the bottom, who would you vote out? Because this episode comes out on Monday, so we'll know by Monday.
You're right.
So if Alexis and Jimbo are both in the bottom, who would be out?
That would be the toughest decision of the season for me, because my brain would say, I don't fuck with the way Alexis played. Get her out. Mm-hmm. Then the other side was like, Jimbo's the front leader. That is
because at this point we're this far in the competition where those decisions really make a difference. I don't think any other decision up until now really did.
It's still Jimbo for me.
What do you think?
It might have to be Jimbo for me, because I know Jimbo's going to come back to the finale with some shit that I ain't never seen before, because his mind is just a little goofier.
Like I said, if Jim Carrey if Will Ferrell did drag, that's who Jimbo would be. And it's a no for me. I just don't. Let me tell you, the girl can't lip sync or perform to save her life. So what she does is do stupid shit to get people to distract from what she can't do. And people be eating that shit up, girl. Like,
I enjoy Jimbo. I think it's
okay,
weird.
So flip it then. Alexis and Candy.
That's another that maybe
okay. So now that one's hard. Now that one's hard.
That's another which shows that they probably have the right few in the top 3 for me. Because
honestly,
at least in my mind,
Lala and Jessica were my top 2. And I was very disappointed with Lala going home. Lala should not have gone home yet.
But here's the thing about Lala,
Heidi and Jessica was for me.
Lala's still a little too crunchy around the edges for me. That orange wig was killing me.
Yeah. like this? Like this? The one that was all the way up here?
I was like,
it was in a whole other zip code.
Like
okay, but to be fair, I will say this. I just saw her at the NUBIA tour.
Her makeup's still a little crunchy for me.
And she ate. She ate at the NUBIA tour. Actually, all the girls. And shout out to Mo. Hey sis, I got to see her. That was my first time because they had only done it in New York. And DeJuan, I get it. I get it. Like that was
it's a whole different experience.
I was like, I don't want to see any drag unless it's this.
Yeah.
Unless it's this.
And honestly, I'm ready for a real black drag race.
Yeah.
Not a RuPaul. Yeah. Not a RuPaul, but like
a Shea Coulee.
Let there be Keisha Cole. Let there be a Keisha Cole, a Brandy, and a
Mary J.
T.S. Madison.
Yeah.
T.S. Madison judging, not performing, but judging. Like I would love that.
Girl.
That would be hot.
The
whole energy would be different. The whole energy
music would be different.
When you went to NUBIA, I didn't even think I've seen Black Queens perform before, right? But like there is something about a whole night where like everything about it's like going to a Beyonce concert.
It delivers.
Everything is black.
Yes, and it absolutely delivers. Let me say this. It's better than the RuPaul Las Vegas show.
Oh, I would think so.
Yep, 1,000%.
Yep,
1,000%.
Without all the production.
That part. That's the same thing Fizz and I said. Without all the production, it was still way more entertaining than that.
I believe it.
Yep.
Who was the most entertaining? Outside of Mo, because we're a little biased. Outside of Mo.
Loved Mo.
Who was the most entertaining?
Evie Oddly, girl, she ate. She delivered.
She
delivered. Let me tell you, and I wasn't sold on Evie.
You weren't.
During it. I was not. Y'all know I was not. But I like her.
Evie
I really do. You can just see she just has this level of freedom when she's performing that I truly, truly enjoyed by her. And also, I gotta say, Shay ate too.
Shay is one of my favorite.
She always eats.
She sang and danced. It was she gave body. It was everything. It was everything.
That's good. Okay, so who's winning the season? Like, we'll maybe end on that.
Okay, yeah.
Who's winning the season?
Who's winning?
I think Jessica's going to win it. I want Jessica to win, and I think she's going to win it.
That's who I want, and that's who I think is going to win as well, too.
I think I'm leaning towards Jessica, too. I think it's going to be Jessica Jimbo. Yeah. If Jimbo's able to squeak in last week, I think those will be the top 2. I think Candy's going to be 3 again. Or I think she's maybe 2 herself.
She's not going to be able to. The reason she's not going to be able to win is because when it comes down to the final lip sync performance,
she's going to be 0 for 8. Oh no, 0 for 9.
Yep. And honestly, I felt like Jessica, like she clinched it with the My Coconuts. That video
and followed it with the guacamole. The guacamole took me all the way.
I
was like, that was so fucking stupid.
And guacamole is extra.
That shit took me all the way out.
Girl,
she didn't read the phone book. I remember her from the first time that she was on, and they did that absolute vodka drink. She's like, "Oh, I love this drink,"
and she don't even be knowing how funny she is. That's the best.
She really don't.
No,
she really don't.
You know
who I wanted her to do for Snatch Game? Sofia Vergara.
Yeah,
she would have ate as a Sofia. She would have ate as a Sofia Vergara. It was so hard because she gives me very much that energy so much.
Yeah, I agree. And then shout out to Miss Patti. Y'all leave Miss Patti alone,
girl.
The BET Awards.
She knew better. Now she knew.
Well, here's what
better.
happened. I kind of read up because I was like, y'all gonna leave Miss Patti alone. they put the teleprompter. So the whole night, if you look at the thing, nobody really stood up in the crowd. So where they placed the teleprompter was below the crowd. So everyone stood up because it was Tina Turner and Patti LaBelle and covered the teleprompter. And so, Patti can't remember the words.
Then don't be doing it, ma'am. Then don't be doing it. You better have some note cards on your hand and your hand at that point. Let me tell you. No, I'm sorry. That's a tribute. That is not okay. That is absolutely not okay.
I'm 79 years old. I got the right to forget.
No, not when it comes to remember somebody who then died just recently. Absolutely not. And not to another legend, to another icon. I love Miss Patti, but that's a big ass L. And
it was rough.
No,
it was rough.
Absolutely not.
I can relate because my memory is trash. I can relate to that experience, and it's not about like as much as I would want to like. There are very few things that I remember. There are times when I forget my sister's name.
Yeah.
Just like, wait, what the hell is her name?
We know you and names. We know you and names. You're right.
Right, but. Jarrell, I have to when it's a tribute for somebody who passed and you know this person and
it made it seem so fake and phony. Like I don't even believe you even know it. I think you didn't like the bitch. That's what I think.
Oh damn.
That's what it came across like. And let's be honest.
Bad.
And if you didn't know the words, you also should have just lip synced that shit. Like you said, you 79 years old, you performed, bitch. You know how to just pre-record that bitch and then just sing on over it.
But Patti don't know how to do that. She's like, I sing all the time. She's like, the only thing I know is my songs, and I barely know them.
And let me tell you, and this is now one of those other times where she shouldn't have sang to begin with.
But here's the thing. That star rating went right back up for Patti LaBelle. We talk about Patti LaBelle some more. She looked great, by the way, though. Patti gonna stay looking good. She gonna stay looking good.
She looked. I agree. She looked good, but it was
rough.
That was low,
and she was off key. She couldn't hear her key. It was rough. And honestly, the rest of the show was rough. I mean, if it wasn't for some of these old head hip hop
the writer's strike.
Yeah, the writer's strike.
The writer's
really
strike is still on. So like they didn't have like the way that the show could have been produced to fit with the writing to keep the show on track and entertaining. It was crunchy.
But I will say though, it's been a minute, but damn, all these categories were tough, bitch. I'm literally, I was like
the lady hip one,
girl. I was like looking at all these. I'm just like, bitch, I loved all these. Like, I'm glad for album of the year, both Beyonce and SZA won for album of the year because I was like, how am I supposed to decide?
How do you pick?
Like, how do I pick that? Like you said, like, the hip hop, the female hip hop, bitch.
Was stacked, and it still didn't even have Dolce like Lotto said out there. And I was like, ooh,
there were so many people. Even actress Angela Bassett, Janelle Monáe, Coco Jones, Janelle James, Viola Davis, Keke Palmer, Zendaya. Like, bitch, it was thick.
Black excellence,
man. Let me tell you, when I say we had a year last year, bitch, we was up in there. But I want to say this: BET ain't funny. They ain't shit. They ain't shit for giving both Usher and Chris Brown that award though. After them niggas were fighting at the Lovers and Friends concert, though. They knew that was black people being petty. That was black people being petty. That's what that shit was. Let's put them on TV so they can kiss and make up, bitch.
Right. Man, I got hyped when Uncle Luke came out there with the Doo-Doo Brown.
Yeah,
I was like, yes, bitch. Come on, that's what I needed to hear at the club. That shit would have me. All the way
honey, out. You would have been out to 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning.
Then she would have,
popping my pussy, honey.
Look, she would have been sad only.
Only 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. But no, Uncle Luke came out there. It turned me up. When E40 came out, that turned me up. When Trick Daddy came out there, that turned me up. With Katrina, I was like, oh, I used to listen to Nam like crazy.
I just, as much as like, I feel like before we gave BET like some shade when it came to the awards, I will say there was just again, it just gave me that black. I just love seeing us on TV.
Yeah.
I love just seeing us have a moment for us. And it was just really dope. It was just like, there isn't the politics of, you know, you gotta let the little white girl over there win, you know, because everyone loves that girl who starts with a T and ends with an S, right? They just love that little white girl over there. But we know who the real album of the year should have gone to, right? Like, I just hate that whole politics, and I love that we still make sure that we love on each other to give each other the credit, because everyone deserved. And I also want to say, if y'all sleeping on Coco Jones, baby, y'all got to get to Coco Jones.
Get it together.
Because when I tell you that this girl is going to bring R&B back,
I hope so,
honey.
I hope so,
honey.
And Doechie's a star. Doechie, like, her caliber performance is amazing. Lotto does great, but Doechie, there's something about Doechie that you're like, you it.
And I love it. I love that she's a Black woman who's into her queerness too. Yes. Being like, I'm a bisexual woman. She's like, I love everything. Like, and she has no problem showing all sides of her. There's just something. I love her.
Performs. She's putting that in. Like, there's just certain people that perform, and you can tell, okay, you put the practice in, but okay, maybe
Don't
dancing and all this, all of that. She's putting that extra work in. She's like, okay, you know what? We might need another hour or two. Hold on, let's really firm this up. And I love seeing that. I love seeing people that want to put that work in to be the best. And every time she gets up there, she's showing me something a little different and things like that. And so every time, like, because, like, again, Lotto, I was like, okay, Lotto, you doing it, girl. But then Doechie got up there, and I was like, no, Doechie's it.
Let me tell you, this Doja Cat concert with Doechie, I'm getting tickets. I'm getting tickets.
I was like, I kind of.
I'm getting tickets. I don't really care for Ice Spice.
Doja, and someone else.
Ice Spice.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent.
Yeah,
but 2 out of 3.
Ice Spice for
2 out of 3, we good. 2 out of 3.
She can dance up there on the BT. I was like, ooh, she off rhythm and beat.
No.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna see that concert. I just need Doja to just make sure she keep her eyebrows so she can go on tour. Okay, please.
Oh Lord. All right. I know we're talking about another topic. We'll say that from next week. But then quickly, I do want to say, community, even Pride Month and outside Pride Month, just continue to check in on your community. Like, we saw someone like that was definitely ODing at the club, and that was a moment where it's just like, we just need to continue to look out for one another. We know that's the culture. It is what it is, and that's a topic for a whole nother day. But if you see someone in trouble, seek out help. Because it's our community, and we already see that folks outside of our communities are not helping us. So just wanted to put that out there. Be diligent about that. Love on one another and have fun, but make sure that we're all protected and as safe as possible.
Right. You can have fun and be responsible at the same time.
1,000. And even if you had an irresponsible moment, because we've all been in moments where we're like, oh, Jesus,
absolutely,
that might not have been the smartest thing I've done in my life.
Probably shouldn't have dapped that dick, but hey.
Just like we live and learn. But if you see someone having one of those moments, don't judge them in that moment. Look out after them to make sure they're safe and deal with the repercussions later and things like that. We just need to make sure they stay alive and as well as possible. So, anything else on your hearts and minds?
I love being Black.
Period.
And on that,
all right, community. Wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. See you next week.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.